What would happen if you stop eating sugar? And by sugar, I'm talking about anything that has calories and tastes sweet, including disaccharides. But we also want to be aware of the other type of sugar, which is polysaccharide, also known as a starch, and this is what we find in bread, potatoes, pasta, corn, rice, and so forth. It's only a matter of minutes before the starches turn into glucose and start spiking your blood sugar. So we cannot disregard carbs. Sorry. To be honest, it's extremely difficult to fully stay away from sugar. So if you are on a zero sugar diet at the moment, you have extraordinary willpower. Hats off to you. Now, when you stop eating sugar, your body and overall health can undergo several changes, both positive and challenging. Let's talk about short-term, medium-term, and long-term effects, other potential benefits, and a few tips for reducing sugar intake. Short-term effects. Number 1, cravings and withdrawal symptoms. In the initial days or weeks in some cases, you may experience strong cravings for sugar. So like a lot of things, it might get a little worse before it gets better. Because what happens here is, if your body is used to sugar and carbohydrates, if that's the typical fuel that you have been provided and now you stop it, your body is not going to know where to get the fuel, where to get the energy. So when you eat carbs on a regular basis, you spike your blood sugar. Then the insulin suppresses the blood sugar and you get a blood sugar roller coaster. So you get unstable blood sugar, and normally whenever your blood sugar was low, you would crave and eat something sweet or some carbs to bring your glucose levels back up. But now your body doesn't know where to get that fix, right? So it has to first repair its metabolic machinery a little bit. And it doesn't take very long. It's only going to take a few days for your body to start adapting and learning how to get energy somewhere else. And in a few days' time, you will reduce your insulin levels. And when insulin goes down, your body will upgrade some of the fat-burning enzymes and learns how to make energy that way. But in the meantime, you're going to have a few days that you will probably have some cravings. So just stick with it, because the first few days are probably the only big hurdle. Besides cravings, you're also probably going to get some withdrawal symptoms, because sugar and carbs is an addiction. Withdrawal symptoms can include headaches, fatigue, irritability, and mood swings, similar to those experienced when cutting out caffeine. Another short-term effect is on energy levels. You might initially feel a drop in energy levels as your body adjusts to a lower intake of quick, easily accessible energy sources. Now let's talk about some of the medium-term effects. Here is when we start seeing some of the positives, like improved energy level. This is because your body will rely more on complex carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, which provide a steadier energy release, better mood, and mental clarity. Blood sugar spikes and crashes, which can cause mood swings and brain fog, will be less frequent. Another medium-term effect is reduced inflammation, potentially reducing the risk of inflammatory conditions such as acne, joint pain, and certain chronic diseases. Now, what are some of the long-term effects? Well, weight loss. This is partly due to a reduction in calorie intake and improved metabolic function. Lower sugar intake can lead to an improved heart health by reducing bad cholesterol levels, also known as LDL, lowering blood pressure, and decreasing the risk of heart disease. Reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. Reducing sugar helps with maintaining stable blood glucose levels, which can decrease the risk of developing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Better dental health. Less sugar means a lower risk of cavities and gum diseases, as sugar is primary food source for harmful bacteria in the mouth. What are other potential benefits? Improved skin health. High sugar intake has been linked to skin problems like acne. Reducing sugar can lead to clearer skin over time. Enhanced taste sensitivity. Over time, your taste buds may become more sensitive, allowing you to better appreciate the natural sweetness in fruits and vegetables. Now, here are some easy tips for reducing sugar intake. Switch from soda to sparkling water. This has been a game changer for me. Read labels. Be aware of hidden sugars in processed foods. Choose whole foods. Focus on whole unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Gradual reduction. Gradually reduce your sugar intake to make the transition easier on your body. Stopping sugar consumption can be very difficult. I personally still have some sugar in my diet in moderation. For example, sometimes I make a toast with almond butter and raw honey. Maybe once a week or every other week I have a pastry or ice cream or a candy bar. and I love bread and pasta. But those are my cheat meals. And definitely I avoid anything sweet in the morning to avoid glucose spike and brain fog. Yes, if you feel tired all the time despite a good night's sleep, if you wake up feeling tired, or if you have brain fog, they all can be due to glucose spikes. And you want to look at what you had for breakfast and change it. I explain all of that in this video. If you found this video helpful, please pass it on to someone you think they will also enjoy it, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next week.